guys, it's coffee time. I'm actually buzzing on coffee from earlier, so I probably shouldn't drink this. Oh no, it's already in my mouth. What have I done? Oops, I might as well drink all of it. So I had a really fun time with my sister and my nieces and my nephew and my brother-in-law and their 2 dogs and their 2 cats. It was great. It was really, really fun. It's awesome watching my nieces grow up. My nephew and I are like the same age, so I didn't really like watch him grow up. It was just kind of like we grew up together. And my nephew is the coolest dude ever. But my nieces are both so different. It's just so cool. And like they're both like, I know who I am. What? And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. And Julia has started like wearing the big chunky bracelets. I was like, and Sabrina's just all about that art and that anime and TV shows. She showed me a couple TV shows I had never even heard of, and I was like, I didn't even know this was a thing, and these shows are awesome. One of the shows, Motor City, have you guys seen that show? Because the art style reminded me so much of Gorillas. I was like, this is awesome. I don't even care if this show is bad. I like the art. I like the animation. I'm into that. So there you go. It was very Jamie Hewlett, and I just loved it. But anyway, backtracking. So yesterday I got there and my mom, my sister, my nephew and I all went to Fred Meyer. We were just like putzing around in the department store, and that was really fun. And my nephew and I got to, you know, make dumb jokes and put on horrible glasses and all the things that we love to do together. And came back, and then we went swimming. Oh my gosh, you guys, at the pool. It was amazing. It was so funny. So like, there were a bunch of dudes in the pool, and they weren't being, like, super loud. So we went in, and we got in the pool, and it felt like, out of nowhere, suddenly the volume ramped up, and they got way more rowdy, and we were all like, okay. So we swam in there for a little bit. I felt so bad. There was a guy that got into the pool. He was obvious, like, he was, like, the same age as the other dudes, but he obviously just wanted to swim. Like, these guys were like, let's play chicken, and then let's, like, splash each other, and bleh! And this one guy got in the pool and was just standing in the corner, and every now and then would swim a little, and I was like, you just want to swim? You just love to swim so much. I feel so bad for you. But he was barely getting to swim. There was one kid, though, that I will forever remember as the waterbender, because he would get up on those, you know, like the step ladders that are off on the side, not the steps that are in the corners, but off on the side with, like, the poles that you can hold on to. So he would hold on to the poles, and he would essentially just, like, hump the wall over and over again. He'd do this, and it would make huge waves in the pool. Huge waves! And we were like, waterbender. Water-tribed! It was so funny. I was like, ooh, what is happening? So I eventually got out of the pool. Then Julia eventually got out of the pool, and Sabrina was like, nah! And she just, like, cannonballed back in there, was swimming forever. I was like, good for you, dude. You're showing those dudes you don't care. And it was awesome. But they were so rowdy. It's just like, this is a lot of work. It's a lot of work being around all you dudes. I don't know what to do about it. And they were so oblivious. They were so oblivious. Other people would be in the pool and they'd be like all up on you. You were like, well, I gotta go. I gotta go. So I hope in my heart that poor kid that just wanted to swim, that he eventually stayed there long enough that he got to swim, because that is the most important thing. So then we went back to my sister's place, and we went bowling at a place that was like a bowling arcade kind of area. So that was cool. I hadn't been bowling in forever. If any of you have ever seen Unicorn and Docs Go Bowling on Courtney's channel, on Courtney Pants, you know that I am not always a great bowler. And I didn't do too bad. I did not do too bad at all. I was rather proud of myself, actually. My sister and I were, like, neck and neck for second place. My nephew is an amazing bowler, so he was just so far ahead of the rest of us. But Chrissy and I, wasn't entirely sure who was gonna win, you know? Who was gonna get it. She pulled out, like, right at the very beginning. The very beginning? What am I saying? At the very end. Very last frame, she was like, I think that if I nail this, I will beat you. And I was like, do it. And she did. And I was like, oh, it hurts in my heart. The thing that I loved also about this place was that all of the bowling balls had like crazy designs on them. It wasn't just, would you like the green ball or the pink ball or the blue ball? It was like, do you want the bowling ball with the giant reptile eye on it, or do you want the bowling ball that's zebra striped? I was like, yes. I couldn't find a reptile eyeball that actually fit me though. Like fit my hand. My hand was far too small. It was depressing. I literally tried every single one. I was like, I want the reptile bowling ball. Why can't I have it? Depression. My heart. Oh well, what can you do? Also, their fries were great. So that was excellent. So yeah, we did that. Came back. Watched some Toddlers and Tiaras because I insisted on it. We were all watching TV for a while, and Chrissy was like, what do you want to watch? Like, do you want to watch anything? And I was like, do you guys ever watch TLC? Because I am big into all of the nonsense that TLC creates. And they were like, oh yeah, we can watch some TLC. So, and like on demand, they had Toddlers and Tiaras. And I was like, yes! Gotta watch this episode. Gotta watch it. It was one of my favorite episodes ever. Exciting. So then this morning, I have been joking that I never have gotten to sleep in since I've come home, which is true. I haven't slept in at all since I've got home in comparison to what sleeping in normally means for me, right? I've gotten up around between 7:30 and 8:30 every day. And I mentioned this, and it was posed to me, well, when you're at your sister's, won't you be able to sleep in? Like, you'll be on a couch, but won't you be able to sleep in? And I was like, no. Because you don't know my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law is such a dude, and I love him. I'm like sleeping on the couch, right? He gets up so early. He gets up like 4 o'clock in the morning every day. So he gets up and he walks over to the couch. I'm like half awake. He walks over to the couch. He's like, yo, you want a donut? He just has this huge thing of donuts. It's 6 in the morning. He's like, you want a donut? The best donuts you're ever gonna eat. I was like, okay. So I grabbed one, ate half of it, and fell asleep with half of it still in my hand, and then woke up like half an hour later and finished the donut. And so this morning, Chrissy was like, so what time did you wake up? I was like, well, guy woke me up with a donut at like 6 in the morning. And she laughed. So there you go. Not even at my sister's place, man. It's okay. It's going to get me on like a good schedule because I've been sleeping in longer and longer and longer. But I've also been staying up later and later and later. So I actually went to bed at a decent time yesterday and the night before. So it all works out. It all makes sense. But yeah, so I woke up super early this morning. And they have 2 dogs that are just so sweet and love to lay on you. So I got the full like huge dogs on me treatment. And that was exciting, just laying there with gigantic dogs. And then Chrissy and I gossiped a little bit. And, and then Sabrina was going to be going off to do her thing. She had like a little whatever going on. And I was like, oh, I'll go with you to drop her off. So we dropped off Sabrina, and I said bye and cried a little. And then we went to the grocery store. And Julia the entire time was like, man, I could really use some Starbucks. Man, we should really go to Starbucks. You know, it would be awesome if we went to Starbucks. And I was like, oh, I've got a gift card. I can just buy a Starbucks. And Julie was like, so happy in her heart places. So I got us all Starbucks, and we sat around and yacked, and we made coffee time jokes because we were literally sitting there with our coffee just chatting forever. And then we went into the grocery store and got all sorts of groceries. And Chrissy at one point was like, I don't know where the sauerkraut is. You guys go and find the sauerkraut. And Julie and I were like, yeah, we're going to go find the sauerkraut. We're going on an adventure. We're going to be so useful. So we finally found it. It took us forever because even the dudes that were working there didn't know where the sauerkraut was. I was like, really? So we find the sauerkraut. Finally, it took us so long. And we were like, all right, let's find your mom. So we have the sauerkraut, we're like looking everywhere, and we find her and she's already in line somewhere. And I was like, oh, she probably knew that, you know, we'd get it by the time she got there. So we get up there and we're like, we found the sauerkraut! And she starts laughing. She goes, yeah, I already found it on my own, but thanks for taking forever. I was like, whoa! Wow. man, we apparently took too long. She found it. We were on a mad hunt for that sauerkraut, and she was like, those dummies are going the wrong way. Actually, she deduced it rather well. Deduced? Induced? I'm not sure which is correct in this situation. But she saw us go down the condiment aisle, and then she saw us immediately walk out of the condiment aisle. And she was like, there are two places it could be. It could be condiment aisle or it could be vegetable aisle. And since it's apparently not down the condiment aisle, I guess I'll look down the vegetable aisle. So she found it first. That's what happens. That's what happens when your sister is smarter than you. So we went through the line and then just hung out at the house until my mom came and grabbed me. So I got to spend a lot of time with them. It was really fun. I didn't get to see Maddie. I didn't get to see my nephew all that much. But I got to see the girls quite a bit. We all got to like chill and chat about life. And I got to see my sissy and the dogs. And yeah, it was good. It was really fun. And now I need to watch all of Motor City, apparently, because that show is great. Also awkward. I watched an episode of Awkward, and that was pretty good, too. I'm like, man, I've got all these shows I gotta, like, watch now. It's good. It's good because all of my shows are ending. Ugh. Korra's over. Metalocalypse is gonna be over. Adventure Time, I think, has quite a few more episodes, but I'm not sure because they come out, like, all sporadically on iTunes. They don't come out immediately like Metalocalypse does. Isn't it the same people that are in charge of that stuff? I don't know. Apparently not. Metalocalypse episodes come out immediately. Adventure Time episodes take forever. I don't get it. I don't get it, guys. But on that note, I'm gonna go and help out my mom with dinner because I am in charge of the mashed potatoes. Yes. I convinced her to do red potatoes for mashed potatoes instead of just regular white potatoes or like russet potatoes. So hopefully this goes well because that's what I do the red potato, mashed potato all the time. So I'm like, this is going to be good. I promise you this is going to be good. So if it's awful, I'm in so much trouble. So I'm going to go do that. And I hope you guys had an awesome day. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah.